But look, it's nice to see Rodrigo Caio playing, and look, there's Filipe Luiz too, doing his little juggling, but it's nice to see Rodrigo Caio in action. There, look at Filipe. Look at Filipe's shot hitting the crossbar.
Look at the shot.
Filipe Luiz hit the crossbar. What a phase, what a moment for our coach, Filipe. Look at Rodrigo Caio over there with the crowd, taking part in the soccer, that fun warm-up with the Mango players.
I'm here. The guys came to do the floor of my garage here, Riverstone. Check it out, concrete coating. The guys are good, man, but it's really hard to get into my driveway here. No, it's not possible, man.
It's not the guys, it's Filipe.
The job is going to look good.
It will be fine, it's going to be all good. He asked to put the trailer because he wanted to help in some way. And look what's happening, it's already working.
I think my neighbor is trying to get through here and she can't get through. This is crazy, Well, that's it, guys. Before we continue with this video right here from the Fantastico service, come here, tell me, Riverstone, is this concrete or what?
River, is this a concrete coating?
Is Flamengo a world champion or not? Did they win the world title against Paris Saint-Germain, Thiago's team, or not?
Thiago, not this time, okay?
No way, Flamengo can't do it. Not with Filipe and Luis Enrique.
No way, Thiago, not this time.
Look at this, look at this. The guys here from the United States want to do Florida. The guys from Florida want to do the floor. Look, I'm gonna get the floor ready here at my house now, okay? This company here is concrete coating, okay. 9047675974. Let's see how it is. It's the training, right? Reminding you that you can now secure your points for the Million Peaks Benefits Club. You can compete for 3 1 million Rees prizes. On the 31st, use your points to exchange for products and experiences. But on the 31st, there are 3 prizes of 1 million Reis. On the 2nd, there's a prize of 2 million, 5 million, and more instant prizes of up to 100,000 Reis. So enjoy it. I'm here, right? Watching the training. Let's check out Mango's practice. Let's go straight to Doha.
On one hand, Paris Saint-Germain arrived yesterday. They're only going to have one match on the other hand. Flamengo has been here for a longer time, but they're already used to the field, the time zone. This adaptation helps. It's favorable. Yeah.
I think it's a game more for Paris Saint-Germain. They're a great team. They're the current Champions League champions, the best team. Of course, it makes things a bit easier for us to be here longer too. We know it adapts to the time zone, but Paris Saint-Germain doesn't have this time zone. I'm really struggling with this time zone myself with sleeping and everything, but being here longer, of course, makes it easier. A little used to the field, but we know it's going to be a very tough game. As I often say in Flamengo interviews, nothing is impossible.
Luís, Paris Saint-Germain lost to Botafogo, a Brazilian team, at the Super Mundial earlier this season. But it was a Botafogo playing with a very different approach from what this Flamengo is used to playing. I remember Filipe saying before the Bayern match that Flamengo wouldn't change its DNA or convictions. So what can we expect for this game? Maybe Flamengo will be more like Bayern than just a posture. Botafogo against Paris.
I think the Botafogo game against Paris Saint-Germain is a whole different competition, totally different from what happened there. That was a group stage match. Now it's going to be a final. It's a much more studied game, a much more tactical game. We know that. Just as Filipe has always played, we won't change our style. Of course, we know we have to be a bit more careful because on the other side are the best players in the world. So we're going to go in the same way we've been playing, but with a bit more, I think, intelligence. We can't make mistakes on defense, and I'm sure we'll play a great game. If God blesses us, we'll achieve this victory, the nation's dream.
Luis, Flamengo is facing its 3rd European team this year after playing Chelsea and Bayern, and now Paris Saint-Germain. What is the main lesson you've learned from these last games against European teams?
For this Wednesday's match, like I said, we can't make mistakes. They're high-level players. The best players will be on the field, both on our Flamengo side and on the Paris Saint-Germain side. The good thing about having played other games is that we come out with experience. We know that against Bayern, we made some mistakes, and that was crucial for the defeat. So we're going to try to minimize those mistakes, go in 100% focused, and God willing, win this title, which, as I always say, is our dream.
Luis, today's interview wasn't even really planned. And talking to the Flamengo staff, you were chosen because of the year you had. You, along with Rossi, played the most 57 games. How do you evaluate your year? And what is it like for you to have played so much? At this crucial point in the season, are you spending more time on the bench than starting?
I'm very happy about this moment in the season. For the season I've been having wearing Flamengo's jersey. It's the highest scoring year of my career, the year I have the most assists. I usually say it's the best year of my career, but right now I'm on the bench. But I consider myself a very important player, a very decisive player, especially in moments like this, in such an important game. I'm sure Filipe can count on me. I'll be ready. I don't know if I'll start or not because Filipe doesn't announce the lineup before the games. Whether I start on the bench or in the lineup, I'll be ready and will help Flamengo just as I have from the beginning.
Filipe, Luiz.
My God in heaven, man.
Last week, Luis Henrique said he didn't want to face Flamengo, that he preferred to face Pyramids in the weekend game in the French Championship. He rested most of the team. Do you think that everything that's been happening, his statement, his decision to rest the team, shows how concerned he is about Flamengo? And it adds even more spice to this final.
I think it's a final and everyone wants to win. And if we could choose to, we also wouldn't want to face Paris Saint-Germain, but we didn't have a choice. Paris Saint-Germain was already in the final, but everyone knows how big Flamengo is, also because of the fans. From everything we've been doing this year, from what we also left behind at that Club World Cup in the United States, we've come from great achievements, and we're also doing very well physically and mentally. And of course, when the team shows attitude, Flamengo shows good attitude because Flamengo has to have a good attitude.
I'd like you to comment on your partnership with Danilo over all these years. The possibility of winning another title together with him, and him being decisive. After all this time, I'd like you to talk a little about your teammate there.
If I start talking about my partnership with Danilo, we'll be here all afternoon because there's a lot to say. As everyone already knows, we're great friends, so we've considered each other family for a long time now. Having Danilo on the same team as me has always been really great. Because he's not only a great player, but also a great person. With his leadership, his experience, and his humility, he always helps his teammates and always helps the club overall, because he's always been an important person wherever he's been. And it's no different now. We have a winning history, and I hope that history continues. Alexandre.
Talking about Paris Saint-Germain, this is the type of game athletes want to play, arriving at the toughest moment. I was going to ask you, Brazilian, at that moment, did you talk to Marquinhos, anything like that? Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Did you talk to Beirado? Do you guys know each other? Or at that moment, do you not talk to each other?
First of all, there are a lot of players in the group who have already played this kind of game, so it's a normal game, in quotes, for many players as well. And obviously for Flamengo, it becomes more special. Since it's a game against a European team, there's not nervousness, but maybe there's something extra for this game. You can notice that in our daily routine that we're getting more and more focused, maybe a bit more anxious, but also confident. So I think for this game, I see a team, a group that's really well prepared. Alex, I still haven't spoken to Marquinhos. Let that play out on the field, Alex.
Maybe you guys don't realize the magnitude of what you can achieve, especially because of the low attendance at the games. But just so you have an idea, for example, Rio de Janeiro declared a public holiday on Wednesday so people can watch the game. So how is it? Does that reach you? Because back in Brazil, there's a huge mobilization for this game.
We don't even know the importance of this game. It's a historic match, right? It could be a milestone in everyone's career here if we win this game. We know that Flamengo's fans are even more anxious than us, the players themselves, not just Flamengo's fans, but all of Brazil. I think most of Brazil is supporting Flamengo for this game. And knowing this news, it's always good to hear that all of Brazil, especially Rio de Janeiro, is with us.
Alexandre, over the past year, Flamengo added several players with European experience. So there's you, Danilo, Saul, Jorginho. At this moment, how much experience do you have at the top level? Do training sessions against Paris Saint-Germain help you prepare for such big games? And how do you support the squad? It's a huge match. When it's time, you show up for big games.
I had already given a few other interviews. Congratulations to the Flamengo managements, not just this one, but the previous one as well, for the signings and the structure they've built. Not just with the players, but with other professionals as well. I've already had the experience of playing against Paris a few times, of playing against many players who are on their roster today. I know how difficult these players and this team make things for their opponents. But we're prepared within our own game to face Paris Saint-Germain or any other team.
The last one you talked about the difference, Danilo.
Again with this, man.
You mentioned the difference, right, about this week and the days before a final like this. You're a seasoned player with years in Europe, but when you're about to step onto the field and play a final for Flamengo, do you still get butterflies in your stomach? You feel just like you did making your debut as a youth player. It's so different. Even for you, with your experience and history in big matches.
Well, always, when it comes to a final, you're always going to get those butterflies in your stomach. I hope it stays like this until the end of my career, because those butterflies are what bring life to the game. It's what brings life to our training, to our daily routine. But not only the players who played in Europe, the players who have always played in Brazil are experienced too. They've been through a lot with Flamengo. There are many players anyway who are much more experienced than I am. If we're discussing Flamengo and each one reaches this stage, sharing their experience with each other, their knowledge with each other, I think that through this, we see the trust we have in each other. I'm sure everyone will be 100% despite this cold.
Thank you, thank you.
The record is already on Flamengo television. This is a unique moment and one of our promises. And now,
look, a little more of the training. More players have already arrived. Leo Pereira for Alassian. Jorginho Saul has arrived. Now, Saul has become a goalkeeper. Everyone here is in a lively mood, right? Good. They've arrived. More players have arrived. Players have arrived. Leo Pereira, more players have arrived. Pereira, Leo Pereira, more players have already arrived. Pereira, Leo Pereira, they've arrived. A little more here from the training. Clemina is really excited. Look over there. Michael is playing around there. Cebolinha is already asking for the ball. Palatian over there. Juninho is waiting for his turn. I like this vibe. A little more of the training here. Clemina is really excited. Look, Michael is playing over there. Cebolinha is already asking for the ball. Palatian over there. Juninho is waiting for his turn. I like this vibe. More images here. They're excited. It's Luis Araujo celebrating a lot. Little kiss, waiting for your turn. Hey, let's go. Filipe Luiz, showing up here now for the first time. Look, he's paying attention. Well, they're really excited. Now, images there of Rossi and Diogo Alves. Also in training. Images for you now of Rossi and Diogo Alves here in training as well. Look, they are there waiting. See all the preparation here and every moment for you to follow everything in real time. Rossi waiting over there. Diogo Alves as well.
He saved it. It's already gone.
Look now, let's go. Hey, Rossi, see? In intense activity during training, look over there with Diogo Alves. They're really active here, really excited. And that's really been the vibe throughout the whole training, right? With much joy and lightness. Look, I'll show you the other side. Seeing everyone there in little groups, juggling the ball, splitting up. Really cool. I'm really liking the vibe here, huh? Champion atmosphere, huh?
Look, the player, they're still here. While the goalkeepers warm up and do some recreational work over there, I'll show you part of the facilities. Here at the Our Cell Training Center, let me zoom out a bit. I'll show you a little of our friends from the press. Check out the whole structure of the Our Cell Training Center here in Arabia, in Doha, Qatar. Look, changing countries. The whole structure of the training center, from here to over there, that's the training center's gym, right? Next to the locker rooms, over there is the bench for the substitutes. There's Jose Buto chatting over there. And this is the structure that Flamengo's players have to use here in Doha, Qatar. Reminder, Cruz Azul and Pyramids also trained at the Our Training Center. The only exception will be Paris Saint-Germain, which will train exclusively at the Ahmado bin Hari Stadium, the venue for the Intercontinental Final. Meanwhile, the game is rolling. Soccer, huh? Right there on the ground, Adriano Fontes, Flamengo's official photographer, capturing the best images. And there you go, Mango players warming up, doing some light training here in Doha. Flamengo players starting the famous run around the field in Monday's training session. Here at Training Center Our Sal in the Al Hayyan district in Doha, Qatar. The red and black players are going to pass right by us. Look at Rolando Alacinha trying to nutmeg the fitness coach, clever player here together with coach Filipe Luis. Look at Pedro there in the middle, Pedro Guilherme, the striker. Respect. Players together with the group of players. Players from Flamengo, Flamengo players, Flamengo players, Flamengo players, Flamengo players, Flamengo players. Which role is that? Wasn't that Wesley's, who liked to nutmeg people? But when he left Flamengo, Wallace ended up taking over that. Flamengo was done. Saul was hitting Rossi. What a moment. Such a light atmosphere here. Where Varela is such a relaxed vibe here at Mengao Staino. It wasn't Luis Araujo, actually. The Flamengo players here tomorrow will have their last training session before the match against Paris Saint-Germain, before the last game of the season, which is the Intercontinental Cup final. Look, there's Jorginho over there. Jorginho is already securing his place in football. They're splitting into several groups here. Look at Arrasca teasing Saul. There's going to be a soccer match with her foreign friends, Cruz Varela and Arrascaeta against Saul Pulgar and Jorge Carrascal. And over there is Flamengo's football technical director, Jose Boto, talking with Rodrigo Paiva and another member of Flamengo's football department while the players are playing soccer. Remember, Flamengo's squad had a day off yesterday, right? Last Sunday, the players took a walk in Doha, Qatar. We know that some players were at Souk Waqif. Eita Michael ended up with Ben Henrique. There were players at Souk Waqif, right? Which is, you know, the ball hit him in the face, which is a traditional market here in Doha, like the athletes in the desert, right? Leo Pereira, Leo, Ortiz, and the others took the day off to go for a walk. Look, it's happening there. Look at Rodrigo. Rodrigo, the guy didn't feel confident enough to save it. And Filipe, all the skill of Professor Filipe, Luís, a star is a star, right? It's strange. Well, with the keepy uppies there, Professor Philly, Luís, Samu Royal. Luís saved it out. Players, it's already getting dark here in soccer. It's past 4:30 in the afternoon. And here in Doha, Qatar, at the Al Irsal Training Center, Paris Saint-Germain, which has already arrived here in Doha, Qatar, will still train today. But at the stadium, at the Ahmad bin Hari Stadium, the stage for Flamengo and Paris Saint-Germain, there you go, look, the soccer is happening right now. The guys are playing over there. Adel Pereira, wow, big Adel today. And here with Rodrigo Caio, it's great seeing Rodrigo Caio out playing soccer with everyone. Look, Rodrigo is doing great. Wow, he didn't pass the ball after the kiss. Over here, look, oh, things are really flowing here. Look, Plata. Alexandro, Royal Samu Royal. Saved Alexandro, saved him there. Hey, Royal is sharp in this soccer game, huh? Royal is doing well, look. Yeah, as soon as I praised him, Alexandro took him down. Coach Filipe Luis is in the middle talking with Ivan Palenko, who's slightly ahead. Here are the foreigners, right? We can't really see it clearly, but there's also the foreigners' soccer game going on, and over here we can't forget our goalkeepers. Right there inside the goal, okay? Diogo Alves was promoted to backup goalkeeper. The first option on the bench is goalkeeper Diogo Alves, and here the undisputed starter is Agustin Rossi. Sleepy Rossi? Yawning because of the time zone difference. It's the time zone really gets to us. Even our reporter Jessica is yawning too because of the time zone. It's tough.